Leroy Jenkins.
Don't include any of that. I felt so hard. Hey guys, and welcome to the Weekly Talkthrough with Katie and Matt, going through the most important news in gaming and esports this week. We were gone for about 2 weeks for the holidays, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Good luck to anyone still recovering from a hangover. But 2018 is starting out with a bang, Matt. The World Health Organization has decided it doesn't like video games. In its beta draft for 2018, it has characterized gaming disorder as an addiction and includes it along things like gambling addiction and so on, saying that you may have a gaming disorder if you have things like increasing priority given to gaming to the extent that it takes precedent over other life interests and daily activities and so on.
And here I thought an apple a day would keep the doctor away. It did not. It does not do that. I mean, gosh, I guess I'm diseased, man.
I know, we all are. Millions of us. We're going to take over the world. But ESA, the Entertainment Software Association, which is the lobbying arm of the gaming industry based here in Washington, D.C., is fighting back. They're essentially saying no to WHO, the World Health Organization. And they put out a statement saying, and I quote, "Just like avid sports fans and consumers of all forms of engaging entertainment, gamers are passionate and dedicated with their time." They then go on to very specifically counter some of WHO's claims of gaming itself being something that can become a disorder by saying, "The World Health Organization knows that common sense and objective research prove video games are not addictive, and putting that official label on them recklessly trivializes real mental health issues like depression and social anxiety disorder." That's not just a soft statement. That is this is wrong. You are trivializing serious issues, and that's a punch. That's not just a hey, would you reconsider this?
Right. I mean, I guess there's two schools of thought. There's this school of thought where gaming disorder would be just like any other kind of addiction, right? Gambling or alcohol or whatever, right? You become addicted to a certain behavior and you just sort of can't stop. And you personally may not realize that you can't stop, but other people may see it. And then there's the other school of thought of, come on, really? Gaming disorder? Is it?
It's the argument of, is your depression, is your anxiety, is your other disorder manifesting itself in you escaping your real world reality that you don't like by playing a video game? That logic being, well, it's not that you're addicted to a video game, it just provides you an escape from the unhappy things in the real world. So then the logic would follow, if you can solve those real world issues, then gaming is no longer a crutch.
Right, and my random stammering from about 45 seconds ago that I wish I could take back is not unfounded.
You're okay, don't worry.
It's not unfounded at all, because I'm at a loss of words, because the way they describe it, me and my entire circle of friends, we all have gaming disorder, which doesn't make me think of it as a legitimate thing. It makes me think of it as, well, it's people outside of the circle not understanding, which I suppose could
also be an argument if
could be my own implicit gaming disorder in me.
But at the same time, I was telling Matt this off camera, that back in the day in junior high and high school, I played Final Fantasy 11 all the time, getting up at 2, 3 in the morning on test mornings to do raids for Fafnir and Nidhogg, all these things. Someone would call my phone at 3 a.m. and say, King Vinegaroon is live, I need you to get on. You logged out there, I need you to kite this on your dancer until people get on. Literally, that's what I would do. I loved it. I loved the people I play with. Some of them are still my friends to this day, but it was all I wanted to do. But I was also in sports. I was getting great grades. I had a lot of regular, real life friends, if you will. But I look at that and I say, well, I was kind of addicted to it. I loved it. I wanted to do it all the time, but I don't know if that really qualifies as being a disorder as opposed to something, I don't know, just...
Yeah. What a giant kerfuffle.
Don't steal my words. That's my word. But it's also important. We pulled this from Joe Donnelly on PC Gamer. He does note at the bottom of his article that them putting this in their temporary draft does not set it in stone. They actually, their classification of diseases for 2018, the final publication is out in mid-2018. So the ESA's statement and perhaps the rest of the gaming industry might sway them in a different direction from classifying it as an actual gaming disorder. That's not the only thing that's happened in 2018. Are you prepared for TV, movies, more video games, books, comics, bedspreads, lamps, stickers on your car of PUBG?
As the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful maker of Spaceballs might say, merchandising.
Right. So let's see. Universe. So C.H. Kim, of course, the head at PUBG Corp, had said this recently in an interview with InVent Global about PUBG. What's next? It's out of early release. What do you plan to do with your game? He said, quote, I'd like PUBG to become a universal media franchise based on the game. We want to take part in diverse industries, including esports, movies, drama, cartoons, animation, and more. Needless to say, PUBG comforters for your 14 and 15-year-old coming to you, bedspreads, everything you could ever want.
I like the and more part of that. It's like unlimited possibilities.
Right? We are going to cram PUBG so far down your throat that you won't be able to breathe without feeling it.
Look, here's all I'm saying. I'd watch a PUBG movie because...
PUBG movie or TV series? I feel like it fits... Well, I guess it could do both. Right, so you have... Do you have PUBG Hunger Games the movie, or do you have PUBG Walking Dead minus Zombies the TV series?
Absolutely. I think the cool part about sort of like... everyone online complaining, it's Hunger Games. No, it's not. Hunger Games is a tweeny, like, political allegory, love story, but no.
PUBG can have love.
Sure, if it's with a pan in someone's head.
Or with that sweet, sweet chicken dinner.
But
no, seriously, I mean, okay, the similar that you're all dropped in an arena and you have to fight to the death and the last man standing wins. That's literally the exact same thing.
But here's the thing. One has tons of guns and is brutal and ends like that.
Have you read the books?
Yeah, I have read the books. I've read all the Hunger Games books.
Those are super dark.
They are. They're extremely dark. But here's the problem with that. Every character in Hunger Games has to have a story because there's only 24 of them. PUBG, you're talking about 100 people.
Well, yeah,
you can't follow 100
No,
people.
but that's fine. You don't have to. There's going to be 50 or 60 of them or whatever that are just peripheral faces in the background of the movie of people looking nervous, and a bunch of them are going to die falling out of the plane, and I'm sure someone's going to get sucked into the propeller and whatever. They all die. So you see them, but you don't actually really have to create depth around that person.
And I think there's an interesting argument to be said of is it a solos game, a duos game, or a squads game? And we're getting really in detail here, but I think it totally matters.
Maybe they'll do it like Hunger Games and have multiple, you pass this round, then the winners get put together, whatever. But he also went on to say, quote, in fact, we've received a couple of love calls from a number of developers in Hollywood and Netflix. Our dream is to build a new game-based culture through various ways like this and have the lead of that culture.
I think
they got to catch up with Blizzard if they're going to try and do that.
Right, does PUBG have lore? Do they?
I mean,
is there a story behind the island?
They could make one at any point.
That's sort of the cool thing. Right? Sort of
I'm a lore junkie, so the moment PUBG lore comes out, I'm going to be pouring through everything I can get my hands on. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, the game lends itself well to TV or movies, for sure.
Absolutely. Just plus no dystopia. Enough of the freaking dystopias. Enough.
Yeah, right. The world is ending, oh my god. Okay. Also, we now know the bestsellers of 2017, rather.
You almost said 18.
We'll know those in a year, actually. But right now, we know the bestsellers of 2017 on Steam, courtesy of Valve. Matt, who's platinum?
Boy, it's sort of interesting that the esports games really dominated Steam this year. Not necessarily because everybody who plays them are junkies of esports, but just...
But there's enough of them in there.
Right, your Dota, your Counter-Strike, your Rocket League, your PUBG, or just to name a few, some of your top games on Steam this year. Obviously,
Rocket League?
All those... Yeah, didn't I say Rocket League?
I don't know. I have selective hearing. It comes and goes.
Yeah, so... Even if you don't follow the games competitively or you follow their esports scenes, it's clear that at the very least, it's making an impact, right? Because
Right.
I don't think it's coincidence.
Now that 2017 has come and gone, Valve has released Steam's Best of 2017 top sellers. In the Platinum, Matt, I think we've got quite a few esports games making it to the top spots.
Yeah, esports is definitely making its impact on Steam. Even if you don't necessarily follow the games competitively or follow their esports, you can see the sales numbers are clearly impacted. And I don't think it's a coincidence because you have games like Dota, you have games like Counter-Strike, PUBG, and Rocket League all sitting on top in the Platinum section of Steam sales.
Yeah, and it's just to clarify for those who don't know, this is the top 100 games as measured by gross revenue in 2017. So yeah, Matt, you're right. They're joined by things like H1Z1, The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, but that's 4 that you have, at least PUBG wanting to become more of an esports scene. That's 4 you have solidly in there from esports, not just regular games like Witcher.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you consider gross revenue, you're talking about certain games like Witcher or Grand Theft Auto that are $60 games.
Right.
And games like Rocket League or PUBG that I don't think were ever $60. I don't think Rocket League was ever $60. Keeping up in gross revenue, that's a big deal too. You talk about number of units sold.
Well, yeah, and even coming in below them in gold, you have things like Assassin's Creed Origins, Call of Duty World War II, Civ 6, Fallout 4. Those are pretty good, but I'm actually, I guess I'm not super. I'm a little surprised that Call of Duty wasn't a bit higher just because of the fanfare.
It might be a timing thing too, because
Right.
it didn't come out until November.
But what really shocked me actually is that Cuphead, for the phenomena it was,
Really?
is in silver. It's not even gold. It's already down to silver of the 4 categories, going from platinum, gold, silver to bronze.
I guess that speaks a little bit to the struggle of indie games too, because that is a top-notch game. Cuphead
it won at the Game Awards. Everyone loved it, from Imager to Reddit. People couldn't get enough of this game. But I wonder if a love of artwork perhaps did not carry over to buying the game. You know, that's pretty
maybe
to look at, but I'm not going to buy it. That's kind of
I'll watch a video of it, but I won't buy it.
That was kind of how I was like, I don't really play games like that. I'm not super interested, but the artwork's beautiful.
Yeah. And the other notable games, Dead by Daylight is a pretty popular game. And is that Planet Coaster? 75% off sale right now on Steam. Can I go buy it, please? Can we finish the video?
In a minute.
Okay.
Patience, child.
Patience.
But of course, bronze is where you have the majority of all of the games falling in. Hellblade though, I'm still surprised that Hellblade was in bronze, not even silver.
Yeah, I guess Hellblade suffered a little bit from undermarketing, I would say, because it was definitely a quality game. It was even a triple.
They wanted the Game Awards too.
Yeah, it was a AAA game. I would say it probably lacked from marketing a little bit. I definitely saw commercials on YouTube for it and stuff. I don't know if I ever saw commercials on actual TV or anything like that for it.
Yeah, I don't know, but either way, you can check it out in our newsletter. You can go to that link, see all of the top 100 gross revenue games for 2017.
And not to mention, a ton of these games are on sale right now.
A ton.
It is the Steam top 100 sale. That's what it is.
Almost every single one of these is on sale.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, Rocket League, H1Z1, PUBG is not.
PUBG is not.
Witcher is half off. Dota is not. But Counter-Strike's 33% off. Ghost Recon 50%. Rocket League 40%.
Tons and tons and tons of
Grand
top
Theft
games
Auto
for
5 60% off. So go check that out too. There's a bunch of sales going on. You already spent all your money on Christmas and New Year's, but you might as well throw your pennies at this because really, who needs to eat?
I don't.
And on that note, we're going to go spend our money on some of these. But again,
like Planet Coaster.
This is Katie and Matt with the Daily Walkthrough. This is your weekly talk through of the most important news in gaming and esports. We will catch you next week.